Today, I'm going to dive in and delve a little deeper into this album project I've been working on. I've been all up in my head again lately, and I've been struggling with one voice, talking about like, nobody likes your videos, nobody cares, this is stupid. And then this other voice all like, you made a damn album, be proud of that. Plus, if you don't promote it, nobody will even know it exists. So I'm listening more to the second voice, and I'm keeping on with these videos. Brief recap for any new viewers. I'm the Adral Project, kind of new to all this, but I've made an album and I'm going to talk about it now. Okay, so as I've said before in other videos, this album is made up of 10 songs, all written by myself and this cool dude named Phil Short, which were then brought to life with the help of Alex Paris, Sean Roberts, Aaron Spink, Cheryl Ireland, John McLeod, and even a sneaky cameo by my good buddy Lincoln Trudeau. The song playing in the background is track number 1, and it's called This Is Happening, which is pretty poignant for a few reasons, not the least of which is that it's just a damn cool title to start off with, because this is happening. I'll let it play for a bit.
Drive out to the breaking point and pass it on the right. Put your foot down hard and scream into the night. Bells at the ring and a siren to sing, and bump the brakes on reality and tuck it out of sight. A mental picture nicely framed upon a shelf. With every ounce of memory, I'll keep it for myself. Granted a wish that I'm sure gonna miss. My inner insanity sounds like this. It goes, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening.
By the way, for anyone who's curious, none of the music you're hearing in any of these videos so far is in its final releasable form. Think of it as like a preview or a demo that you're getting exclusive access to. John and I have been working on remixing some things and mastering everything with the goal of making it sound as fun and as professional as we possibly can, even so far as completely retooling a couple songs that just weren't working well the way they were. It's daunting as hell, considering I've now got a tight deadline, but it's all good. We're still on track. So where to start? How about the cover art? The image I decided to use was one of the last pictures Phil and I ever took together. It was taken as kind of like this spur of the moment, we need a picture to use for our Facebook page kind of thing, and then I quickly forgot about it. Lost in the thick jungle of pictures on my phone. Usually we would try to look stupid or have a silly pose, but when I was looking through some pictures after he passed, this one stood out to me because we're both actually looking not only more like normal, but also thoughtful, and honestly, I just really like the shot. We both look pretty good, and it brings back good memories for me. If you're interested in what I've done to make it look that way, I took it into an AI program to merge it with another picture of some fireworks, which made it look like this, which I thought looked pretty cool, but the AI did some really weird things to it. So I took it into Photoshop, played around with it until I got a sort of hybrid AI/human thing that I really liked. Growing up with cassettes and CDs and even vinyl, I always loved a good album cover. I even used to sit and read the liner notes and lyrics while I listened, and I think it made the music more somehow real or more personal than what we have nowadays with all the streaming services. I mean, now every song is literally at our fingertips, wherever we go. I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, necessarily, but it has lost some of that personal connection I used to feel with the artists I loved. At least it has for me. Look, don't get me wrong, there are other likely better ways to connect to the artists these days, like Twitch and YouTube and everything, but it's different. It doesn't have that pause for reflection while you sit and listen to the music with the physical artwork in your hands. No other influence. I can remember taking the bus to the mall when I was a kid, specifically just to buy George Michael's Faith on vinyl. And man, I still love that album. But having to go to a store, search for it on the racks, hoping they still had a copy in stock, it made it more of a journey, something I had to put some effort into. And it made it feel like I was somehow connected to it and that it was mine. So then I went home, put the record on the stereo because yes, we didn't have smartphones or anything else to play music on. We had to go to the 3-foot tall box in the living room and play it there. I mean, we had Walkmans and cassettes and CDs, but the sound quality was always way better on the big stereo. Now, and this is probably just nostalgia talking, but I do feel like back then I felt closer to the music. But having said that, I don't wish for the old days or anything. I'm pretty tech savvy. I'm not trying to fight the future. The idea that now anyone can share their art with the entire world easily and without having to get massive corporate behemoths involved to fund everything is fantastic. But at the same time, it does pose a problem. Saturation. There's more music being pumped out from more people than ever before, and it's harder than ever to actually grab someone's attention. So with this album cover, I tried to make something that not only summed up the origins of the music, but also something alive and vibrant, with bright colors and stark contrast, that would look good not only printed on a cover, because that's probably still going to happen, but that would stand out in the tiny thumbnail in the corner of Spotify or wherever. Now, I'm not going to go into detail for every song today, other than to say I have a hard time classifying a lot of them to any specific genre. I, and Phil too, grew up listening to pretty much every genre of music, and there were so many different influences in here that it's just impossible for me to list them all. I mean, there's hip hop in there. I grew up on hip hop, but I also grew up on rock, soul, R&B, funk, prog, adult contemporary, like you name it. And any gaps that I had in my genres, Phil's eclectic tastes filled in just beautifully. I mean, not to mention the wide range of styles that all my insanely talented musician friends brought to the table once we got into the studio. Suffice it to say, this is a party platter. This is a smorgasbord. This is a cornucopia of styles that I think create something unique and fresh, and all the while paying tribute to every influence that came before. In case you can't tell, I'm really proud of what we've made. And honestly, genre doesn't really matter much anymore anyway in this sort of postmodernist deconstruction of an entertainment world where everyone is in full control of their own playlists and playtimes. I've decided to call this project Let Me Go because that's the title of one of the last songs that Phil and I worked on together. And I'm not only naming the whole project after it, but I'm also placing it as the last song to close out the album. There's a sort of poetic poignancy to that as well, what with Phil's passing. The song itself was originally written about something in my own past between my late father and I. It's about wanting to be set free from the mental prison created by a surprising and unwarranted betrayal. But ultimately, it's about standing up for yourself and breaking free. I thought it was a good, positive note to end the project on, and naming it this way also lets me bookend the whole thing into one solid, complete package called Let Me Go. Now available for pre-order. Next time I'll go into more detail about the actual process of how each song was made. Until then, thanks for watching. I hope you found this at least interesting. And I want to thank everyone for helping me get the word out by sharing these videos and for pre-ordering. I'm still a long way off my rather lofty goals, but every little bit of support helps in more ways than you know, so thank you. For those that would like to support the project, there's a link in the pre-order page on Bandcamp in the description. Please, if you don't want to pre-order for any reason at all, no worries. All I ask is that you share the video, like and subscribe to the channel, and just help me reach as many people as possible. The YouTube algorithms really like that kind of stuff, and we'll start pushing this higher up their lists if you do, and that is a huge help. I really do appreciate all of your support. And if you think you'd like a physical copy of this album on CD or vinyl or whatever with artwork and all, please let me know. I've been looking into it, and if there's enough of demand, I can make that happen too. Thank you for everything. I love you all. Until next time. Oh, and look, I learned how to show you the next video you should watch.